So what happens when you take Deadpool, Nick Fury, and Commissioner Gordon and throw them into an action buddy comedy? Unfortunately, nothing that hasn't been done before and done better. Hey everybody, welcome back to Drinks and a Movie. Today we'll be talking about the Hit Man's Bodyguard, but first let's start with the drink. And the drink I'm doing today is called the Long Shot, because there's some long shots and this it's about an assassin that takes sniper. Just shut up. Look, anyway, the Long Shot cocktail is kind of an interesting one. I haven't tried it, so we're gonna see how it is. But it is 1.5 parts tequila, half part triple sec, half part simple syrup, half part lemon juice with bitters into a shaker, shake it up with ice, and then pour into a Collins glass with ice. And then top with club soda. So we're gonna see how this is, and here we go. We'll talk about the Hit Man's Bodyguard. The Hit Man's Bodyguard is directed by Patrick Hughes and written by Tom O'Connor and stars Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. There's the 1.5 of tequila, half of triple sec, or a whole of triple sec. I mean, look. It's all up to you, everybody. That's what's so great about this. Simple syrup, lemon juice. So, Reynolds and Jackson star in this, fortunately, failed attempt at a buddy action comedy. Reynolds plays Michael Bryce, who was at the top of his game at being a bodyguard, at protecting people, but now he's just protecting third-rate assholes because when he was at the top of his game, he allowed one of his protectees to get killed. Cut to Samuel L. Jackson, who is the assassin who has just been caught by Interpol, and he's been taken by Reynolds' ex-girlfriend to testify against, because why not, Gary Oldman of all people, who's playing this Eastern European kind of guy with a Russian accent, and he's just an evil dude that kills a lot of people. He's kind of a dictator. And she calls on Reynolds to help him out with this. And it sounds complicated, and it kind of is, kind of isn't. But none of it matters, because just, you know, Gary Oldman's just a MacGuffin to get Reynolds and Sam Jackson together. And honestly, as great as Gary Oldman is, he kind of feels like that he's in a different movie from everybody else. So let's shake this bad boy up and see how it is. All right, now that you're shaking it up, pour it into a Collins glass with ice. It's kind of a rose color. Interesting. And I'm not gonna have much room for club soda, but who needs room for club soda? Nobody, that's who. All right, there is a Long Shot cocktail. Cheers, everybody. Here is to the Hit Man's Bodyguard and the Long Shot cocktail. Just all over me. I clearly have a drinking problem. Okay, so let's start with what I did like about the movie. And honestly, this is not bad. It's kind of a nice summery drink. You should really try it. So, what did I like about this movie? It's not much, I'll be honest with you, but I want to say that, you know, Reynolds and Jackson did a really great job, but the thing is, they're just playing themselves in this movie. Honestly, it was as if somebody said, hey, what if Ryan Reynolds plays a snarky bodyguard? Kind of. Or, what if Samuel L. Jackson played a motherfucking assassin? Yeah, I mean, look, the answer would be, well, it would be fun to watch, and they're fun to watch. Their chemistry is not bad, but they're essentially playing themselves. They're not really playing characters. Not really. They don't really have any characteristics that come with writing, that come with, you know, character development, that come with depth, that come with any kind of interesting arc. There's just nothing there besides their charisma, which is significant, but it's not enough. Okay, so trying to stick with the positive, there is 1.5 action sequences that I actually quite enjoy. The one action scene is Ryan Reynolds, and now this guy's a really physically fit guy. I mean, he is an athlete. You can see it in Deadpool, you can see it in a bunch of his movies, that he can be physical and do his own stuff. And there's a scene toward the end of the movie where he's fighting a guy in a hardware store, and it seems to be done all in one shot, and it looks like he's really doing his own stunts, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good action sequence. The other, and this is the half, is quite a creative sequence that the action is all taking place behind Ryan Reynolds, who's talking to this outside bartender in London, I believe. And you see Sam Jackson doing a lot of stuff, killing a lot of people in the background. And Reynolds is just trying to ignore what's going on because he's upset at Samuel L. Jackson's character. But the problem is they don't commit to this. They keep cutting back to Sam Jackson and what he was doing, and it kind of takes you out of the joke. I just wish they would have fully committed and had the entire sequence done in the background of Reynolds just trying to ignore it. Kind of similar to the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I thought was very creative. They had an edge of this, but they just didn't commit. Otherwise, unfortunately, the action was kind of a fucking mess. I mean, it really cut to shit, and I'm going to reuse a bad joke that I used not too long ago in another movie review I did, but I think the editor was paid by the cut because it is worse than this. Now I want to take a step back and talk just briefly about what does make a good buddy action comedy, and there's only one place to look for that. It's Shane Black. Shane Black is a writer-director, and he wrote some of the best buddy action comedies of all time, from Lethal Weapon to Long Kiss Goodnight to The Last Boy Scout to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and to last year's The Good Guys. And the reason why Shane Black's just buddy comedies work is because he writes real characters with real issues and emotions. Lethal Weapon wasn't great because Riggs and Murtaugh weren't just Danny Glover and Mel Gibson playing versions of themselves. They were real characters with real issues and real conflict. And the comedy and the drama comes out of those two opposing forces trying to work together or not trying to work together, depending on the situation. Just like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. are real people, or they feel like real people, and the comedy and drama come out of these two opposing forces, again, trying to work together or stay apart, but that's what makes a good buddy action comedy. It's not just gags, it's not just quips, it's reality, it's realness. The same can be said for The Good Guys with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. I mean, all these movies have a backbone of real character toward them, and that's why they're great. And that's where Shane Black's movies succeed, and The Hitman's Bodyguard just fails on just every level. Look, this movie isn't terrible. It's a little too long. I feel like it ended like 3 times. It could have been like 20 minutes shorter. And the main leads did what they could with the material, but there just wasn't anything there. There's just all surface stuff, and there's just no meat to the story. I mean, I do want to give a kind of a shout out to Salma Hayek, who has kind of a sort of cameo, but her stuff was really fun, and she seemed to really eat up, the stuff she was doing. She was really chewing the scenery. And that was cool, but otherwise there's not much to this movie. So I'm going to give it 2 drinks out of 5. I mean, if you have some time to maybe rent it or watch it on Netflix, you probably enjoy watching Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson kind of just going back and forth and being goofy together, and that's cool. But it's just not enough for me. Anyway, thank you so much everybody for joining me. Have a drink on me. Cheers, and if you like this, please like, share, and subscribe down here at the bottom. Thanks. Bye-bye.